Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
They're back. Yes. It's always an interesting time when we get together with one of them, Shannon, but then she brings her cousin Jen in, and I don't know, who knows what's going to happen. Psychic readings is what we're doing today. Psychic mediums. Shannon is one. I've experienced so much in the last couple of weeks through this, and we're going to do it again. You never know what's going to happen, what you're going to hear, what you get. I'm going to get personal for a second. So Shannon, just before we went on here today, was referencing a half sister that I found out that I recently have. And she mentioned a Jeep. And it turns out when I connected with my half sister, her mom had a Jeep before she passed away, and that's all good. But then she was talking about a dog and a Jeep and a certain type of dog of which Jen has, a golden retriever. And then Shannon says, yeah, that the Jeep I was talking about, that dog was in the Jeep, lighter in color. And I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's my daughter. She has a Jeep, golden retriever, lighter in color, always hanging out in the front seat, sometimes in the back. Weirdness. You can't make it up. Like I'm very skeptical. We're friends, we're close. I'm still going to punch holes in it, but I can't. All right. So it wasn't my half sister, although there was a Jeep connection for sure. But you were picking up on my daughter, who was a sister to my kids. Yeah, freaky, weird.
This is Jen's other dog.
Wow,
I love her dogs. They're so friendly.
Crazy.
Dogs always come through when I'm first reading. It's like they sense the spirits. They want to hear the voices that are on the Zoom computer, but they always come through. And for the first minute or two, they're like, they sense something is around, and then they lay down. They do it. I did a trial group Zoom the other night, and Beth on the other end, her dog came around, and he was like looking up, and he could sense, because as soon as I felt the spirits come into their space to communicate with me, her dog came into the room and is looking like up. And after like the same amount of time as my dog, went and laid down, and they seem to sense.
Do you think what they're doing is they're detecting a certain type of energy coming from the Zoom, and it's different? Something has changed, and they just want to poke their head in and say, what's going on there? Oh, it's cool. We're good with that. And then they just go back and lay down.
It's possible. I think they hear the voices and they're wondering like the voice coming through the computer, like us talking. But I think they definitely sense the spirits. Every time I go over to one of my clients' house, Holly, her one dog is like, comes over, greets, he's okay. The other dog, Marcus, oh my God, they're so cute. They're little like Shetland dogs. They look like miniature lassies. The other dog goes absolutely wild, and I love it because every time as soon as I sense her dad, Rudy, this dog goes crazy, and he stays that way. And it's because he senses the spirits. He just knows. He knows when, and every night. And I'm like, does your dog go crazy at a certain time every night? And does he stare at a certain part, like to her mantle to the right? And she's like, yes. I'm like, that's your dad riling him up. And her dad began laughing, and he does it. He gets this dog going. He plays with him all the time.
Jax just hides.
Yeah.
Shannon will be here reading somebody, and Jax literally hides behind a chair and shakes like he's the biggest baby.
It's like he doesn't want to get read. He's like, that don't read me.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Out of there.
He was just laying under my chair, and as soon as I started talking about the spirits, he went and laid over that way, and he won't face me.
So we got somebody to read today, right?
Yes. I've read her before, but never the person. There's someone that she's wanted to come through. He's never come through. So I'm going to try to bring him through today. So we'll cross our fingers.
And this is Jen. Hi, Jen. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So we're sort of going to pick up where we left off when Shannon had read you in the past. And
okay.
Shannon, should we ask her who she's trying to connect with?
Yes.
Who's that, Jen?
My brother,
Okay.
Okay. And what's his name?
Carl
Okay. And his last name?
Hegley.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask my dad, can you bring Carl Hager?
Hegley.
Hagley?
Hagley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he an older brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have facial hair
Yeah.
at times?
And Jen, if you could just talk a little bit louder to kind of low, don't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. And so he had the facial hair.
Yeah.
Did he pass, he had something wrong with his heart?
I'm not sure if it was his heart.
Okay. Was it cancer that eventually took him?
No.
Okay. Was it a lung illness or an accident?
We believe it was liver.
Liver. Okay. He's showing me beer and a bottle of liquor. Was he an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Okay. He's saying that he's showing me I'm gonna draw it. He's showing me a circle with a bunch of kind of can't see it, with a bunch of arrows, and the arrows go in a circle. Was this in the family? Because he's showing me uh his name was Carol, the guy from All in the Family, and I'm
Oh.
hearing that song. Was it All in the Family?
Yeah.
Like so it was a family thing.
Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor, thank you. He's saying it was all in the family.
Yeah.
So was your father an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he still work though? Because he's saying he was a functioning alcoholic, so he would go to work.
Yeah.
He's saying that he's sorry because he should have lived a lot longer
Yeah.
than he did, like at least 25, 30 years longer than he did.
Yeah.
Did he call you kid or sis sometimes?
Yeah. He would call me kid sometimes.
Yeah, because he's calling you that. And was he was taller than you. Did he used to make that a thing when you were younger?
I don't know. I guess. I mean, he was substantially older than me, so he was, always probably going to be
Oh.
bigger than me.
Okay, so maybe that's what he's doing, because he's putting his hand, like he's doing, like there's a height difference. So it's not a height
Yeah.
difference, it's an age difference. Because
Yeah.
he's doing like a height thing, and I'm like, is he doing that because he was making fun of you? He's doing it because there was an age difference.
Yeah.
He's apologizing because he said that he didn't connect with you because he was out of the house practically before you were, like, he wasn't around. He was like already out of high school, and like you're coming along.
Yes.
He's referencing Thanksgiving. Did he come home for some Thanksgivings? Because I feel like he's mentioning holidays, like as in
Yeah.
that's almost only when he saw you.
Yeah. He was always around for the holidays, and
Mhm.
that is at the end is when we at least would always see him then.
Yeah. Did he? I feel like either he didn't have kids or he didn't have a relationship with them that was very good.
No, no children. He never had
Okay.
children.
Was he not married or divorced by then? Because I feel like he was alone.
Never married.
Okay, so that's why he was he had a very low self-esteem because of the alcohol. And
Yeah.
he tried to stop, and he would stop for periods, and
Mhm.
he was much more clear-eyed when he would stop. Um, he never married. I think he wanted people to think that he was happy as a bachelor. He was not. It was
No.
because he knew that he struggled with the alcohol, and he didn't want anyone on him about it. He's showing me that he would stay home and sit in his chair and watch TV and drink alone.
Yeah.
He's very proud of you because you seem to have broken that cycle. And he said, you are such a good mom and a good wife. And he said, you are all that he ever wanted to be, but as a husband and a father. And he is so proud of you because you seem to be the one in the family that is so different than what everybody else was. And he's just so proud of you and all that you've accomplished and how your children are turning out, because everything for you, he said, is always going to come up roses and money. Like I see roses with dollar bills, always, always, always. You are coming into money in your future through your children. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you have an incredible future, and your husband does really well.
Yes, he does.
Yes. Were you guys talking about renting a shore house or buying a shore house, like a second vacation home?
We have a second home. Yep. It's a short.
Were you talking about renovating it or getting enough, like selling that one and getting a different one?
We recently actually within the last week or two talked about if we continue with a house at the shore, it would probably have to be bigger for someday with grandchildren.
That's going to happen.
And we did over this last season do some renovations. We did some painting and all down there.
Okay. Yeah. He likes the renovations, but he said, yeah, that you're going to actually get, a bigger one, and it's going to be magnificent, and it's going to be like on the beach. So yeah, be prepared. It's going to be really nice, and it's going to be like on the beach, but it's going to be a quieter beach like Spring Lake versus a like a busier one, and it's going to be really great. Your daughter, I think your son might bring you grandchildren first, which doesn't to you sound theoretically right, but for some reason he's going to fall hard and fast for somebody. And he's going to bring you a granddaughter first, and your daughter is going to also get married. She's going to have 3 to 4 grandchildren, I think. I think he's going to have 2 kids.
She does need a bigger shore house.
Yeah. And
Right.
he's gonna have 2. I think his is gonna be a college sweetheart. I feel like this one, he is usually really thinks things out and seeks your counsel. I don't think he's gonna listen to you with this girl.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, he's not going to with this girl. She's gonna press him. I think she's gonna get pregnant. Yeah. So yeah, but you're gonna get the grandkids out of it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be good. but you're going to get a granddaughter first. You're going to be a young grandmother, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's actually going to still be in college, but like close to graduation when it happens. And I actually feel like he's going to go early for the NBA draft because of it, so he can be a provider for his family. And somebody, I think the Lakers and Chicago Bulls, they're gonna try and recreate their dynasty. There's gonna be a fight for him. Somebody's gonna do a trade so that they can get an earlier pick. Does that make sense?
It certainly could make sense.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. He's going to be smart. He's gonna continue. He'll go early for the draft. And he's only gonna have like maybe a year's worth of credits and change. Push him to keep taking classes like online
Hmm.
to finish his degree with the college online that he's at. So that's going to make sense in the future.
Okay.
He's just going to have such a magical, I'm telling you, everything he touches is going to be magical. And your daughter is going to be, she has brains, but she is going to be like a mini you, like a wonderful.
I have one that is brains, and I have another one who wants nothing more than to be a mom.
Yes. The one that wants to be a mom, she is going to be the one with the 4 kids, the 3 or 4 kids. I'm feeling 4 more than 3. She is going to be like a mini, she's going to be a mini you and part of her grandmother, the grandmother that was the homemaker. Like she's going to be all about her husband and cooking and running the kids to all their events. She's just all about that. And she'll be that her whole life. Like that is her aspiration. She's going to be great at it. Like she will be the organizer for everybody and help everybody else in the family. She's amazing at it. The other one I think is going to end up, has she talked about being a lawyer?
No,
Or
not a lawyer yet.
a doctor? Yeah, because she was talking lawyer or doctor.
Yeah, or doctor.
I think she is going to be a doctor, and I think she's going to get I think she's going to work at shock trauma in Maryland.
Hmm.
She's going to be good. She's going to be like really good at what she does. Like I can see her doing, like she's going to be doing important work. Like she'll love her rotations. She's going to be really good, really good. I keep hearing like cardiothoracic, like trauma. She's going to just do really good at what she does. She's ridiculously good.
Yeah, she's very smart.
Yeah, don't worry about her not being like super bedside manner. She just needs to worry about her books. It'll come. Yeah, she's just amazing. Do you have any questions for your brother? He's like so proud of you guys. He's like bursting with pride.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm not surprised by that. Him and I, out of all my siblings, I felt like we had a really close connection. I felt like I really understood him. I knew that he didn't really want to live the life he was living, but was a prisoner to what he was into. And I definitely think he didn't want to die, but he had a rough life.
Yeah. And he said
he always loved children and would have loved to have his own children, but it didn't work for him. So I'm sure that he's real happy that I have the life I have with my children and my husband.
Yeah. And he said he watches over you. he pretty much would listen to music or watch TV was his thing. Do you feel like sometimes you hear songs and they remind you of him?
Oh yeah, yeah. I see his initials everywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
because he says he feels like you're aware of this, that you're
yeah,
aware and you know it's him. Like I don't have to give you a sign like a
yeah,
flower or something. He's like, oh no, she knows it's me. Like she knows it's me. I send things to her all the time, and
yeah.
she knows it's me. I'm watching over her family all the time.
I asked him last year. I was taking a walk on the beach, and I asked him to send me some kind of sign other than a coin. And at the end of my walk, I saw something that looked like a rusty key ring, and I kind of like pulled it out of the sand, and here it was a ring. It was like a bubblegum ring, but it was a heart. And that was very cool. And I knew immediately it was from him.
Yeah. He said that he likes to surprise you with things. And do you collect them in a box, like a cigar
I,
box or something?
I have this stuff that I have found that I believe is from him. Yeah.
Yeah. He says keep collecting them in a box because
Yeah.
you know that they are little gifts of love from your big brother.
Yeah.
He's just wonderful. He just loves you so much. And he's going to keep watching over your family. He said, I can make things happen. Like he's really proud of that. So always know
Yeah.
that, Jeff. Always know
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
that's awesome. I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I was able to pull him for you. I was
Yeah. Me
a
too.
little like, oh, let's hope we can make this happen. But I'm really proud that
Hmm.
he came when we called.
Yeah, me too. Last time he seemed like you made it sound like he said he really wasn't ready or really didn't want to talk. So I'm really
No,
glad
he
that,
didn't. He's definitely was ready. So I'm glad the universe always brings the right timing.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That makes
Wow.
me happy. Makes my heart happy.
Super cool.
Yeah.
We have like 30 seconds left. Jen, how do you feeling about that reading?
It's incredible. I feel pretty connected to him. I was surprised last time when he didn't come through. So I'm grateful for those messages and so glad that he did come through. I know that we had a pretty serious accident in our family, and I know that he was there, and I know that he helped to save my son. And I don't doubt that if I can't have him here, that he's not there watching out for us. And so that just solidifies that for me. But I already know that's true. I'm a true believer, and I know that's true.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for being part of today. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
That was great.
I'm not the expert here, but I'm thinking that last time you read her, others in her family came through, and it was just too much going on. Where today we focused on her brother,
Mhm.
and it seems that that's why that happened. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because I always usually at the end, I'll say, is there anyone else that you really want to hear from? And he just was very reluctant. He didn't want to connect. And so, I was like, why don't we try again? And wow, he really did, and I think sometimes they don't want to come forward when they know that other spirits are around, or it's not their time, they're not ready to speak. They have different reasons, I guess. And I think maybe with the other people, there was just a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
being said. So maybe they weren't ready.
Mm. It's interesting. I feel like I'm part of their family based on your amazing description, Shannon. Like I understand them. I I feel like I'm watching TV, but I'm not. But it's that clear. How does somebody get a reading? Ask any questions? How do they find you?
You can find us on Facebook under Shannon Dee Sees Things, or you can call or text me, Jen, 215-680-7693 to book an appointment.
Cool. You both, thank you very much. Super interesting today. Really cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
appreciate
was
it.
neat. I'm so happy that I was able to give her
Yeah.
that, and that he gave me more information. Her son had almost killed in a freak accident, and um I know that Carl was a guardian angel and
Yeah.
helped, and her son's going to have an incredible life, and her two daughters, and they're all going to have amazing paths. And it just makes my heart sing when I'm able to tell somebody that.
Wonderful. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds
thank
like
you.
great. All
We'll
right.
be
Have a
back.
good week.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.